Ever wondered how being landlocked affects a country's development? Well, let's dive into that. A landlocked country is one that is completely surrounded by land, with no access to the open sea. This geographical peculiarity can have both positive and negative impacts on a country's development. For starters, the United Nations identifies 32 out of the world's 44 landlocked countries as landlocked developing countries, or LLDCs. This classification is made due to the unique challenges these countries face. Being landlocked often means higher trade costs and slower economic growth. Imagine trying to run a marathon, but with a backpack full of bricks. It's not impossible, but it sure makes things a lot tougher. This is because they lack direct access to sea routes, which are crucial for international trade. Moreover, their geographical remoteness can make it difficult for them to integrate with global markets. It's like being at a party but stuck in the corner. You're technically there, but it's a lot harder to mingle. Now let's delve into some real-world examples to illustrate these points. Let's kick off with Armenia, a classic case of a landlocked country with a not-so-friendly neighborhood. You see, Armenia is smack dab in the middle of Azerbaijan and Turkey. Two countries it doesn't exactly see eye to eye with. This lack of neighborly love puts Armenia in a bit of a pickle, especially when it comes to international trade. Without direct access to the sea, Armenia relies heavily on its coastal neighbors to get its goods to global markets. But with Azerbaijan and Turkey not extending a helping hand, Armenia is forced to take the scenic route, leading to higher transport costs and slower economic growth. Furthermore, this landlocked status also means Armenia is heavily dependent on transit countries for trade and development, and when these transit countries are the same ones giving you the cold shoulder, well, let's just say it's like being stuck between a rock and a hard place. But it's not just about money and trade. The geopolitical tensions with Turkey and Azerbaijan also affect Armenia's ability to develop its infrastructure. For instance, imagine trying to build a railway line while your neighbors are breathing down your neck. Not exactly a walk in the park, right? Now don't get me wrong, Armenia is a resilient country with a rich history and culture. But these challenges, posed by its landlocked status and unfriendly neighbors, can have a significant impact on its economic development and overall growth. As we can see, being landlocked can pose some serious hurdles when your neighbors aren't exactly rolling out the welcome mat. But being landlocked isn't all doom and gloom. Enter Switzerland, a landlocked country that's doing pretty well for itself. Now you might be thinking, how did Switzerland manage to dodge the economic bullet that so many landlocked countries have had to face? Well, it's all about strategy and a little bit of luck. Firstly, Switzerland has been blessed with good neighbors. Unlike some landlocked countries that face hostility from their surrounding nations, Switzerland has maintained positive relations with its neighbors. This has provided the country with stable and secure routes for international trade. Secondly, Switzerland has made effective use of its resources. While it may not have a coastline teeming with fish or vast oil fields, it has something just as valuable: mountains. These mountains are not just a haven for tourists and avid skiers, but they have also been a source of hydroelectric power, which has been a cornerstone of Switzerland's energy policy. Finally, Switzerland has been strategic in its economic policies. It is renowned for its high-quality manufacturing, particularly in industries like watches and precision instruments. But it's not just about making things. Switzerland has also positioned itself as a global hub for finance and banking. This has attracted investment from all around the world, providing a steady stream of capital to fuel its economy. So yes, Switzerland might not have a coastline to boast of, but it has leveraged its position, resources, and policies to its advantage. It has shown that being landlocked does not necessarily equate to being economically locked. Clearly, being landlocked isn't a death sentence for economic prosperity. It's all about playing your cards right. So, what's the takeaway from all this? Well, it's clear that being landlocked can present a unique set of challenges. Countries like Armenia, for example, grapple with the economic and political hardships that come with having difficult neighbors. The increased trade costs, geographic remoteness, and administrative burdens at border crossings can slow economic growth and development. But it's not all doom and gloom. Take Switzerland, a landlocked country that's thriving. With its political stability, strong economy, and advantageous relationships with its neighbors, Switzerland demonstrates that being landlocked doesn't have to equate to being locked down. In fact, it's about how these countries play the hand they've been dealt. It's about leveraging resources, fostering positive relationships with transit countries, and seeking innovative solutions to overcome geographic constraints. In the grand scheme of things, Being landlocked is just one piece of the puzzle. It's how countries navigate their circumstances that truly shapes their development story.